Liverpool, is it form? Is this manager bounce? Or are Liverpool, this is Liverpool, Liverpool just, this good? That is the question. It's only been 3 games. It looks very good so far. Is it form or is it a bit of both? Is it neither? What are the opinions on what's going on, obviously?
I think it's a bit of both. Can't lie. I definitely think it's a bit of both. I'm one of the many people that severely underestimated what Slot may potentially be able to do with the team at hand, in it. Because let's be real, you're playing with the exact same set of players.
Yeah, same set of players.
Season. Like, even though you've signed Chiesa, he hasn't played yet.
The family as well, man. Big up.
Yeah, big ups. So I think a bit more respect needs to be given to Slot in it, because obviously he's been able to slightly tweak the way you man play that doesn't leave you man so open defensively and doesn't actually put a huge massive strain on your players' bodies, because obviously the chaos football you was playing under Klopp, the rock and roll thing, yeah, that had man's legs all gone by the latter parts of the game, innit? So he's making you build up slower. You're playing ball. This is the thing. You're playing ball. Like, the things that I was seeing Gravenberch do to Manchester United's midfield was criminal. Like, if I was a Manchester United fan, I would have been vexed. So, look, he started off. He got a win at Old Trafford as a Liverpool manager. Like, the Liverpool fans must already have this guy in a framed photo in their rooms, in it, because that's a big achievement for a new Liverpool manager to come in to get the victory at Old Trafford. And you've conceded no goals. You've scored. I think you've scored the most goals bar Man City, right? If I'm correct.
Right, Marcus, you're going a bit too far with that, actually. Too early for that talk. We're going.
I mean, right now, I'm the table don't lie brother, innit? That's who I am, innit? I'm the table don't lie brother, innit? So right now, Liverpool Man City are both better than Arsenal right now as it stands.
So Bournemouth are better than Man U.
I think it's too early.
I
think it's too early to judge. It evens out later, Judge.
We'll see. Like, I think
we'll see. But we don't need to do that for now. But let's go back to our clubs. We don't need to go into that for now. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I think that I'm not surprised so much at the results, because for me, I said we beat Brentford comfortably. Because whether we had Slot or we still had Klopp in charge, I just expect to beat Brentford at home. That's just a given, even if we are adapting to a new style. Yes, I said we beat Manchester United comfortably. I said 2-0. It ended up being 3-0. But I believe that's because I think Man United are crap. I think they're shit. So obviously now the real test, I think, even though we said Man United will be the real test, the next test I think is Champions League. Not even just got to play in Arsenal. It's Champions League.
What's your first?
It's being able to play 2 games a week now. 2 games a week, and because Jurgen Klopp could use the fringe players. Like, when you saw Klopp's gonna give the player on, he'll be waiting to come on. Klopp's gonna give him a hug, and and even if it's the 94th minute, that player's gonna give the best 90 seconds that he's gonna want to give, because it's Klopp in it. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, Madrid's your first game?
No,
I think it's Milan.
No. It's I think Milan's our first game, but
home or away?
Saying that, for me, I think playing Champions League simultaneously with the Premier League will show
away.
It's at home. It's at home. Will show the management skills of the fringe players of the squad. It's all well and good seeing the Robbos, the Trents, the Alissons and the Salahs and all these guys doing their thing. But that's nothing new. Even though the style is working and everything's cool and Gravenberch is doing great. But when you have to play the Madrids, by the way, I'm not saying Slot has to go and beat Madrid, because it's Madrid, isn't it? But I'm saying that. If he does, it'll be a Mazza. But when you have to play, Madrid's at home, bro.
Madrid's away.
No, Madrid's at home. It's at Anfield.
It's not. It's at the. I don't even know how to say the.
Yeah, that's Milan. He's saying the Madrid game is at Anfield.
The Madrid game's at Anfield.
The Milan game is away.
Yeah, the Madrid game is at Anfield.
Oh no. So your first game is Milan away.
Yeah. Not Madrid. No, not Madrid. Madrid is at home. No. Our first game is Bologna. No, am I bugging? No, it's Milan. It's Milan then Bologna. Milan, Bologna. Madrid
so
isn't
your
until
first game is Milan away.
Madrid's not till December. Madrid's not till December. I mean November. Sorry, end of November. So that's quite far away.
So, so your first game is Bologna.
No, our first game is Milan away, and then Bologna at home. Those are the first two Champions League games. So yeah, but what I was saying is, as I said, it's all about you learning how to utilize your squad and getting the best out of the fringe players. And we have no evidence that when things go wrong, how is Slot going to handle that? Don't get me wrong. Right now, I'm not surprised because, as I said, when we weren't making any signings, I always said, bro, we're better than United, we're better than Chelsea, we're better than Spurs, we're better than Villa, we're better than Newcastle, we're better than all these guys. And I don't even think it's close. My thing is that we're not better than Arsenal and we're not better than City. So if you're in this little island of third place, for me, I'm annoyed about the signings because we didn't go to where them man are. We're not moving towards them, man. You know what I'm saying? The rest of you, man, are always going to be very inconsistent. But I already know that Liverpool is the same group of players. You don't turn shit overnight. It's the same group of players. But to not want to improve on those same group of players is ludicrous.
But you know what's interesting about what you just said there? Yeah, you're saying it's the same group of players, but the same group of players that have achieved what though? Because it's not the same group of players that won the Prem. It's the same group of players.
There's still. When I say the same group of players,
you're right. The majority of them were, but you've lost Firmino, Fabinho, etc., Yeah,
but we've lost key components.
We've lost quite a few players.
But with that being said, it's the same group of players. It's the same group of players that did quite well, but they burnt out to an extent when it was crunch time. Yeah. And I'd argue that the squad is even a bit thinner compared to before. So
yeah, the squad is a little bit thinner because some of the young G's have gone. That kept us going in the January to March run. But again,
I think he's doing well. Like he's doing well. It's all pretty. It's refreshing. It's like Hook said. It's a lot less. It's more balanced. It's not aggressive. It's a lot more calculated, and he's managing the play as well. The workload. But bro, this is a honeymoon stage. Yeah, we're gonna get to the real tests real soon when the fixtures come.
Yeah, no, of course. This is what I said. I think this is definitely a phase where we can look and take the positives. But again, when you start playing Champions League, when the FA Cup fixtures start coming in, when all these games, even 1-2 injuries, when 1-2 injuries start to happen, and you now got to utilize the squad.
12-30 games start coming in thick and fast.
Well,
I mean, I disagree.
Months. It was 12-30 months, yeah.
So this is what I mean. So it's going to be and obviously, don't get me wrong, United was a big test because let's be honest, it is United, isn't it?
I disagree. Mons, if I'm honest, yeah, I don't want to sound like to burst your bubble or anything, yeah. But for me, Liverpool have done what I expected any Liverpool side to do. Any Liverpool side since Klopp, so any of Klopp's sides, and since then with all those players you've done what I've expected you to do. You've beaten Ipswich, you've beaten Brentford, and you've beaten a poor United side. For me, bar Brentford, the rest of those sides are toothless. Brentford without Tony can be a bit up and down, and Bremer and Wissa can sometimes do a thing. But traditionally, without Tony, they're a bit toothless. Ipswich are newly promoted, and United are toothless. We've seen the stats with Mo Salah and how many goals at Old Trafford have been scored, and all these things. Last season, they scored 50 odd goals, like nowhere near any of us. So, for me, I don't think you've been challenged in the.
Can you say
in the attacking department just yet? Because you kept 3 clean sheets.
You predicted a draw, though. You predicted a draw for the United.
Yeah, I predicted a draw because it's a rivalry. So United can in the odd game turn up, but that's more United than you. That's nothing to do with you. You have done what Liverpool fans expected you to do. You was expected to beat Ipswich, you expected to beat Brentford, and you expected to beat United. For me, you haven't had a test yet where I've gone like, okay, like you said, the Champions League's coming up, and for me, that is a test. because, like you said, these are teams that you don't play every week and that are constantly changing, and it's a cup competition, so it's a bit different. But so far, I think you've done, you know, what's expected. Don't get me wrong. There's been some good performances. Gravenberch has surprised me. Definitely stepped up since Slot's come in. You know, Salah's looking on fire as usual.
Either way, not convinced by that Gravenberch thing. Don't get me wrong, it's looking good, but all I'm saying is Basuma last season. I don't think Graven's a 6. He's like a 8.
He's not a 6. He's being converted into a 6 who also is probably going to be needed to play in a pivot with McAllister in certain games. In the United game, we played a pivot.
See, look, now everyone's saying I'm hating.
Yeah,
so I don't get me. If I'm hating, Liverpool fans tell me what game you didn't expect to win. Because I don't get it.
I'm not even. For me, I think you're downplaying the United game. For me, I think, but at the same time, I'm saying that with Gravenberch, I don't think it's a. We'll have to see. As I said, for me, he can only play what's in front of him, and he's played 3 pretty much man of the match games in a row. Someone tell me I'm lying. And he was a bit part player under Klopp, played in the 8. He's now been dropped deeper. He was played in a deeper position throughout preseason, so this is not new. He was played there during preseason to prepare, and I think that's credit to Slot to preparing something in preseason and not leaving it to McAllister to have to play lone 6 like what we had to do last season. So I think that's more credit to the manager, because at the end of the day, we still need a top of the range 6. Regardless of Gravy Boat being as good as he's been, we still need a 6. That still hasn't changed. You know what I'm saying? You could arguably say we still need another world-class left winger.
You know what? Yeah, so, we kind of in the same situation, innit? Where, don't get me wrong, we play a lot more aggressive than you lot. But if we were to play with a 6, it would take away a lot from what we already have in the midfield. And I feel like maybe not as extreme as us, but I feel like with you lot, that's the same situation. Because, like, bro, my boy, I was even chatting to Lewis the other day. Bro, Basuma is so integral for us building up. But Basuma is maybe not so defensively minded, but he's good at beating the press, you know, transitioning the ball from the midfield, from the defense to midfield, and he offers a lot. If I was to get someone like Onana or something, bro, he can't do what Basuma does.
Listen, but again, that's you get the best out of your players down to your system. And this is why I'm sitting here giving the manager props. I'm not saying he's the best thing since sliced bread. We've seen loads of managers come in and play good for their first 10 games. We saw it with Ange last season. I'm saying that there's certain changes. Liverpool have needed a 6 for 2 years and haven't sorted the position. We haven't. So
are you going to play with a lone 6 though?
No. It differs every game. Man United, we played a pivot. Against Brentford and Ipswich, we played a lone 6.
Okay.
And that's down to the manager going, cool, we're going to play a pivot. And we're going to press one of our midfielders high. So if we pinch the ball high, there's no Casemiro, there's no one there. It's one. You heard Arne Slot talking about the Manchester United system after the game. Broke it down in 2 minutes.
Yeah, but that's why I like it, because it's adapting to your opponent.
But it's not gonna listen. Every system has its weaknesses, and no one's gonna win every single game of every season. So there's gonna be teams that find little loopholes in what we do. And there were even times where we made mistakes against Man United, but we made a mistake and they made it. Then they made a mistake from our mistake, and then we scored. That's how the first goal came about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be real. I'm like what Casey said. I'm not gonna argue Casey down, because personally, you man thought I was crazy when I said it. I said we comfortably beat Man United. You know what I'm saying? And
I predicted as well. I predicted 4-1.
Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cool. On paper, because you know what? Every time I spoke about I've done all these streams about, you know, in prep for the game. And I just said, when you ask a Man United fan, why are you going to beat Liverpool? They're not going to tell you tactics. They're not going to give you players. They're just going to say it's Old Trafford.
No
logic.
That's what Corey had to say.
Yeah, like there's no logic. There's no logic, no nothing. Like,
Corey, you know that as well. Be honest.
That's not just Corey. I'm not singling out Corey. That is a general thing. I've done a lot of streams in prep for that game, and that's majority of, not everyone's opinion. That is about 80 to 90% of what I heard. There were no tactical reasons as to why you were going to beat us. And I always say that, and I also added the point where last season we didn't beat Manchester United, but we drew both games. It was 2-2 and 0-0. And it was the same sort of thing. We'd go and play a Crystal Palace. We don't take our chances, and we get caught on the counter-attack. So as I said, we look at Manchester United, for me, as a tricky away team that sits in the middle of the Premier League table. That's why, for me, that's why I said I think we beat Manchester United comfortably. Because I've looked at Luis Diaz, and he looks like he has his shooting boots on. For me, we don't know how long that's going to last, but right now, that's just the form he's in. So we'll have to see. We've got good attacking depth, and hopefully, as a Liverpool fan, this can carry on. And it's not just the honeymoon phase. It's too early to say this is what Arne Slot is, and this is what Liverpool are going to do, and we're going to challenge, we're going to do all these great things. Champions League is around the corner. Anyone can get injured. We don't know yet, innit? But right now, Liverpool are looking at the real deal, and I don't think anyone can talk me down on that. Right now, as it stands, we're looking at the real deal, and the tactics are tacticking. So I don't know if anyone else wants to say anything else before we move on to Arsenal, but yeah, that's my part of it.
Yeah, I guess the thing for me is I don't think that you guys will struggle with the 2 game a week thing, because looking at your squad, like defensively, I mean, if you're Joe Gomez, if this is Joe Gomez being a centre back, you got 4 centre back options, and then you got 2 options at both right back and left back. That's calm. And then you got 6 midfielders to all rotate, that you can rotate in however Slot wants to play them. You got 6 midfielders, right? That can probably cover multiple positions within your midfield. And then you've got 2 options, if I'm correct, you've got 2 options in each forward position. So maybe Slot's thinking, this is enough. Like, Slot might be one of them managers, similar to Arteta, that they prefer to work with a smaller squad of players than a bigger squad of players. And I don't think you play a brand of football that's so taxing on the body that it would be a detriment to any of your players playing 2 to 3 games a week. So obviously, when it pans out, it'll be interesting to see. But I don't think you're going to run into as many problems with fitness and rotation as you would think.
I think Slot coming in and playing the way he plays is probably the best thing that's happened to you guys since Klopp's left, because your high intensity games where you guys were literally sprinting basically for 90 minutes under Klopp, now it's more relaxing on the body, albeit it's a professional game and there's high intensity, cool. But for a professional body, it's definitely more relaxing. And I think that's another way.
On the ball, I think our press is still quite aggressive. But
of course.
But when we defend everyone behind the ball.
For 90 minutes, with and without the ball.
Yeah, we don't defend in transition much anymore.
Yeah,
we don't defend in transition.
That is another way, as Hook said, that's going to stop you guys from getting injury. Your body is now used to, your body just doesn't change just like that. Now, it takes years for it to change. Klopp has embedded a full throttle sprinting style to this team. As you guys said, the core is still there. I see it in the comments. Your core is still there. Yeah. So if your core still have that energetic body and you're not using it as much, you're going to be way more you're way more conserved. So when you need to do it, you can do it without an issue. That problem is what Man United had. That you guys had such relaxing football, and over the course of 90 minutes, your energy levels were way higher than us. Way higher than us. Yeah. And you didn't even need to go. You didn't even need to use that energy because of how we were playing. But if you really wanted to, you could blitz us for 90 minutes by full sprinting.
Yeah, they've still got the Klopp engine if need be.
You still have that Klopp engine.
But even with the Klopp engine, but we still got those injuries, especially players like Konate. But listen, that's fair enough. Let's move it on. Obviously, Raheem Sterling, as I said, if you guys can see in the background, he's done his photo shoot. You know what I'm saying? Guys always say, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What? Casey Hooks, what? You know what I'm saying? What's going on, man? Obviously, Trossard looking like he needs to be sticking to playing off the bench. Martinelli's still out of form. Is it time for Raheem? Does anyone here start Sterling? Does anyone want to give him a start?
100%.
I think you need
to. Is Amanda going to be seeing this at White Hart Lane?
Yeah.
I think as mad as it sounds, there's two There's two players for me that play in the 8, and it might shock you. It's
what?
either Havertz or Wanyeri.
I pick
I
up the
don't want-
1 year.
I don't want to see Jorginho in it.
Bring that little.
And depending on
Cool, it's just
depending
this
on
one.
who, yeah, that's fine. Depending on who's in the midfield.
Bring him. Bring him.
Bring that little.
Yeah, no, bring him, fam. Hey, listen. There's always what better time for Wanyeri to come in and cook than at Tottenham, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, honestly, for me, I think we need to keep the energy in the midfield. I think we need to keep the creativity as well.
You're away, Casey.
Obviously,
You do know.
I'll say this from now. You lot are losing that game. Watch. I promise you.
Dude.
Well, I find so cheeky. Also losing that game. I find so cheeky. They're just brushing it like it's like light. Oh, we need to win.
What's the score? What's the score going to be? What's the score going to be?
Save that for prediction, big man.
Oh, say that for prediction. Okay.
Right,
People are dismissing that game like you're not away to Tottenham.
We was away last
I'm not
season.
dismissing. 1 second, I ain't dismissing anything. The fact that I'm even risking my young boy against someone like you should be thankful. But anyway, fam, yeah. The main thing is, for me, if Havertz ain't up top, if Havertz is up top or he's in the midfield, for me, Sterling starts on the left. For me, it would be Trossard will move up front, or Havertz will be up front. That's the only difference I'll make in the team. Everyone else stay the same, and it's only for one game. It's only Tottenham.
I saw
Right, it's only
Quick question.
You might have won twice in the last 10, 15 years.
Seeing as the topic is Raheem Sterling, yeah. Obviously, I'm not trying to go back on the games, innit? But do you think Sterling wins you that Brighton game?
Yeah.
Maybe he touched one of the chances.
Yeah. Okay, so
I like to like Raheem Sterling is killer.
I don't know. It's hard to say, innit? But I think he would have been a lot more lively than what Trossard was in the first half.
No, but I'm saying to you, since for the 10 men, he brought on no. Yeah, so if he started, if he started Sterling instead of Trossard, yeah, and then you got 10 men and Sterling came off, yeah, do you think Sterling would have won you the game beforehand?
I don't know. That's all here if buts, and we got the red card at 48th minute. And
it's a question. I'm not saying it's not if buts. Just like you're asking me, do you think Ten Hag would be sacked then? It's just a question. I'm not.
But that's you're asking a super hyper. You're asking me if Raheem Sterling played instead of Trossard, and we still went down to 10 men. Because we may have not gone down to 10 men if Sterling.
Yeah, like it's just bare, like
look, hold on a second.
Too far.
Wait.
Bro, did
Martinelli come on? Did Martinelli come on during the game? You got the red in it.
He came on. He came on like
they had 10 men though, but he came on.
Yeah. All right, cool. If Sterling came on instead of Martinelli, do you win that game?
I think if Sterling starts, they go in more than 1-0 up.
You think?
Yeah, because I think they carve out more chances from the left.
I think it's interesting.
I think there is a slight issue with the fact that Arsenal being so right-hand side dominated. Like there needs to be. I think
that's what Marino was brought in to help balance.
I think like there's going to be games where it's just not really working down the right, and you need to give it a little switch to the left and see what you can do on the other side. And the one time you did do that, Trossard puts in a cross, and Odegaard realistically should be scoring that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, 100%.
I think
the biggest chance for me was the Odegaard one. Actually, I mean, tell a lie.
The Saka one and the Havertz one. Yeah. But personally, I think everyone to hit it with more venom. I look at the Havertz chance, and for me, I stick by it. I think genuinely that is I don't want to say world-class save. It was a very good save. Man, I looked at the freeze frame, bro. Man is doing the splits and saves it with his foot.
Yeah, it's a good save. But
don't get me wrong, should Havertz still score? I still think he should score because I think he's done all the hard work. I think the easier part was the finish, not the flipping ball coming over your shoulder and controlling it on the half bounce.
That was disgusting.
Do you know what? I see a lot of people say this. Yeah, sorry. I see a lot of people say this. Yeah, it's not about having Sterling from 5 years ago, innit? It's not about that, innit? is about whenever Arteta has worked with Sterling, Sterling has cooked. So based on prior evidence, I would have to make the assumption that if anybody can make Sterling cook,
yeah, that's my thing.
Like that's all I can.
If
like
anyone,
I want to raise the thing.
I hate to be a hater. But you know what's
one at a time.
Yeah, we've sat on this show, yeah, and we've addressed several targets that you lot were in for, and Sterling wasn't there before a week.
That doesn't matter.
No, you're right. Right.
I know. It sounds
before
pretty.
You didn't even know you were getting Sterling.
It sounds pretty like that. It sounds pretty.
It doesn't matter.
Sterling's played well. Well, we all saw, yeah, and there's no comparison, but we all saw Jose Mourinho won trophies everywhere he went.
What?
Everywhere he went.
That
was a guarantee. That was a guarantee. He won trophies everywhere he went. He went to Tottenham and didn't do it.
Okay, that's all well and good. That's fine. That's fine. I hear what you're saying, but you will know, like me, you will know that Spurs is the curse. We know this. We know that Spurs is the problem. It's not Mourinho. They actually sacked him a game before he was about to win them a trophy. So that's not on Mourinho.
It was against Spurs.
So all that look. So the first thing, the point about me specifically not saying I wanted Sterling in the transfer window.